Modern Business Environment, Chapter 2. Let's start. So, business model. Business model is a method of doing business to generate revenue. What is e-commerce? E-commerce is a type of business model that enables the firm to conduct business over internet. Business environment from seller's market and buyer's market. So, what is the difference between seller's market and buyer's market? In case of price, seller's market, it is cost plus approach. Buyer's market, it is competitive pricing. In response time, determined by suppliers. Seller's market is determined by the suppliers and buyer's market is just in time by suppliers. Quality to determine by service or product, but in case of buyer's market it is better than customer's expectation. Performance, seller's market dedicated to customer provider, then in case of buyer's market it is effective and efficient. How should be the performance? It should be effective and efficient. What are the characteristics of modern business environment? One is globalization of the world economy. There is a globalization. Then there is a fierce competition among organizations. Then using new managerial methods. There's globalization, fierce competition, using new managerial methods, global excess capacities in production, service, and in some areas of development. Availability and accessibility of data and knowledge. There is availability and accessibility, then timely availability of materials, ease of global travel. These are some of the characteristics of modern business. What are those? Globalization, fierce competition, using new managerial methods, global excess capacities, availability and accessibility of data, timely availability of materials, ease of global travel. Then what is quality management? The cost of quality. The cost of performance activities to check failure in meeting inequality specifications. What is the cost of performing activities to check if there is any failure in meeting the quality? Then quality is equal to conformance to customer specification plus satisfaction of the customer, satisfy customer expectations plus value for money. All these three include quality. What are those? Conformance to customer satisfaction, satisfy customer expectations, value for money. What are the components of COQ? There are two types of components. One is cost of conformance and cost of non-conformance. Under cost of conformance, which is also known as cost of good quality, we have prevention cost and appraisal cost. Under cost of non-conformance, we have cost of poor quality, which is internal failure and external failure cost. Under cost of conformance, we have prevention cost and appraisal cost. Prevention cost, the cost incurred to avoid poor quality of products and services or minimize number of defects. Second one is it is planned and incurred before actual operations. Prevention cost, as the name itself suggests, it is planned and incurred before actual operations. For example, like quality planning, engineering, design, review, planning, engineering, design, review, training, audit suppliers, supplier evaluation, all these things. Appraisal cost, control process ensuring high quality standards and performance requirements. Then under appraisal cost, it is control process ensuring high quality standards and performance requirements associated with suppliers and customers' evaluation of purchased materials, process, products and services to ensure that they are of specifications. Then they are as per specifications. Then what are the examples for appraisal cost? Field testing, package inspection, test equipment, product or process acceptance. These are two types of cost of conformance. Cost of non-conformance, internal failure cost and external failure cost. Under internal failure cost, it is incurred to remedy defects discovered before product or service is delivered to the customers. It is discovered before delivering to the customers. Whereas external failure cost, it is incurred to correct defects discovered by the customers. Once it is delivered, what are the defects discovered by the customers? That is external failure cost. To correct that, we will use external failure cost. To correct that, we use some materials and everything. So that cost is known as external failure cost. Then cost incurred to correct deficiencies caused by error in product and inefficiencies in processes, that is internal failure cost. It is incurred to correct deficiencies. Then external failure cost, it occurs when product or services that fail to reach design quality, standard or not detected until after transfer to customer, causing dissatisfaction. In fact, we lose customers because of external failure cost. Internal failure cost, it is actually corrected before it moves out of the factory. For example of internal failure cost is scrap or rework, redesign, retest, downtime. Example for external failure cost, warranties, complaints, customer support, lost market share, all these things. Next is optimal cost of quality. An increased expenditure in prevention and appraisal is likely to result in substantial reduction in failure costs. Because of the trade-off, there may be optimum operating level in which the combined costs are at a minimum. So this is basically optimal cost of quality. Steps of application of prevention, appraisal and failure. What are the steps? First thing is to gather some basic information about the number of failures in the system. So this is the first step of PAF model, prevention, appraisal and failure. Second step, apply some assumptions to that data in order to quantify the data. First you get to know the basic information about number of failures, then you apply some assumptions. Then the third one is chart the data based on the 4 elements listed above and study it. Chart the data based on the 4 elements. What are those? Prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure and external failure cost. Then allocate resources to combat the weak spots. So first you realize what is the problem, like basic information about the number of failures. Then you applied some assumptions. Then you charted the data based on the 4 elements, the 4 costs that we had. Then allocate resources. Then the last step is to do the study on a regular basis and evaluate your performance. Do the study on a regular basis. So you should not leave it. You should continue doing this. Now let's talk about TQM, Total Quality Management. The TQM is aimed at embedding awareness of quality in all organizational processes. It requires company to maintain quality standard in all aspects of its business and ensuring that things are done right the first time and that defects and wastes are eliminated. TQM is a comprehensive management system which emphasizes on teamwork, views organization as an internal system with common aim, recognizes role of everybody in the organization. So how do we remember the definition of TQM? TQM is aimed at bringing quality in all organizational processes. So it requires company to maintain quality standards in all aspects of the business. It shall also make sure that things are done right at the first time and defects and waste are eliminated. So what are the principles of TQM? Let's remember the easy ones. First one is employee involvement. Basically every person in the organization has a responsibility for the quality of the product or service. So employee is involved in this way. Second one is communication. Effective communication is essential for implementing significant changes for business improvement. So first thing is employee involvement. Second one is communication. Third one is continuous improvement. So you cannot just leave it by improving at once. So applying the principles of DMA-IC and Lean Six Sigma will instill culture of continuous improvement. So constantly seeking new ways to be more competitive and deliver high quality products. So first one is employee involvement, communication. Third one is continuous improvement. Then we have customer focus. Quality is determined by customer. Customer satisfaction is only way of knowing it if measures are successful. So these are the 4 things that we can remember. What are the principles of total quality management? One is employee involvement, communication, continuous improvement, customer focus. There are 2 more points, which is integrated system and centered on process. You can remember this. Then fundamentals of TQM. What are the fundamentals of TQM, total quality management? It includes continuous improvement, customer focus, techniques aimed at improving quality of the product. Next, let's see what are the 6 C's under TQM. 6 C's. This question was asked in May 22 attempt. What are the 6 C's? Commitment, continuous improvement, customer focus, culture, cooperation and control. So let's remember these 6 C's in form of relationship. How relationship should be. There should be a commitment in the relationship. Commitment should be there. Continuous improvement. Both of them should try to improve continuously. Then there should be focus on each other. So there should be continuous improvement, commitment, focus on each other. Then there should be cooperation as well, right? So cooperation and culture of those 2 people should match. and there should not be control. Control shouldn't be there in the relationship. So these are the 6 6. Okay, how do we remember this? There should be commitment, culture should match, then there should not be control, then there should be continuous improvement, then there should also be customer focus on a relationship, then there should also be cooperation. So commitment, continuous improvement, customer focus, culture, cooperation and control. Okay. TQM by Deming. He's the father of quality control, as you all know. So what is the TQM by Deming? Philosophy of Deming. It is 15% defects due to workers. So that will create quality issues on account of 85% process or systems or poor management. So correct system problems to create an environment that promotes quality. It's not really that important, but we have Deming 14 points which you can read. Then apart from that, we have Deming cycle or PDCA cycle. So PDCA stands for plan, do, act, check. Okay, plan, do, check, act. PDCA, plan, do, check, act. This is nothing but Deming cycle or PDCA cycle. Now we have theory of constraints. So it focuses on revenue and cost management when faced with bottlenecks or constraints. What is bottleneck? Bottleneck is the demand which is more than supply. Under theory of constraints, we have 3 key operational measures. They include throughput, investment, operating expense. TO. Throughput, investment, operating expense. Throughput is nothing but the sales revenue that we have. Then investment is how much of money tied up within the system because of investing in the assets. Then operating expenses is like direct labor and other operating or maintenance expenses and all these things. Throughput accounting ratio is equal to throughput per bottleneck minute divided by factory cost per bottleneck minute. It is like time required divided by time available. Next we have Goldratt's 5-step model for improving performance. 5 steps include, first we have to identify the constraints, then we have to exploit the constraints, then subordinate and synchronize to the constraints. Identify, exploit, subordinate and synchronize, elevate the performance of the constraints, repeat the process. What are those? Identify, exploit, subordinate, elevate the performance, then repeat. Let's see some of the advantages and disadvantages of theory of constraints. Advantages of theory of constraint is reduction in inventory, more productive machines, ability to meet shorter lead times. It is more flexible. Better customer service can be given, better product mix, better customer relationship. We can remember 3 betters under advantages of TOC. What are those? Better customer service. If you give good customer service, there will be better customer relationship, then better product mix. What are the disadvantages of TOC? One, it is focusing on short-term goals. It main emphasizes on increasing sales and volume and not on quality. It is emphasizing on sales and volume, not on quality. Might result in loss of overall picture while looking at specific constraints. And it also focuses on push approach, not pull approach, push approach. Next, we shall see supply chain management, SCM. SCM is a network of retailers, distributors, transporters, storage facilities and suppliers who take part in the production, delivery and sale of product. There are different supply chain management processes. It includes CRM, customer relationship, SRM, supplier relationship, then customer service management, CSM, CRM, SRM, CSM, then demand management. We shall remember 4. CRM, SRM, customer service management, CSM, then demand management, DM. There are 2 types of supply chain. One is push model, the other one is pull model. You all know what is push and pull. I'm not going into details. Then steps in SCM process. What are the steps? Plan, develop, make and deliver. These are the steps in SCM process. One is to plan, to develop, to make and to deliver. Some of the benefits of supply chain is it reduces the inventory, then personal reduction, then productivity improvement, information visibility, new improved processes, customer responsiveness, standardization, information visibility. And there are 2 types of supply chain flow. What is this? One is upstream flow, the other one is downstream flow. Upstream mein you concentrate on suppliers, downstream you concentrate on your end customers. So now we have relationship market. What are this relationship marketing? So there are like few types of relationship marketing: customer market, referral market, recruitment market, influence market, supplier market, and internal market. So basically, if you remember relationship, remember YouTubers. So relationship, how they are creating relationship marketing is by influencing you to buy the product. So influence market. Then they have referral market. They're giving you their referral codes. That is referral market. Influence market, referral market. Then there's something called customer market, wherein it creates a brand loyalty for customers. Then recruitment market. It includes commercial recruitment agencies and universities for potential employees. Then we have internal market, includes internal department and staff. So we shall remember this like this. In relationship, YouTubers, influence market, then we have referral market. Influence, referral. And customer market, supplier market. Then we have internal market, recruitment market. This was related to relationship marketing. Now we have customer relationship management, CRM. It's nothing but knowing the needs of the customers and providing them with best possible solution. Then we have something called as customer lifetime value. So this is nothing but the value that we derive from a customer throughout his life, entire his lifetime, how much value we're going to derive from him. So what are the components of CLV? One is customer selection. How do you select the customer? Customer acquisition, customer retention. First you select, then you acquire, then you retain them. Then there's some extension, customer extension. Then we have outsourcing, like contracting out. It's nothing but giving contract to the third party. There are some advantages and disadvantages by this. What are the advantages of outsourcing? It saves cost of operation and labor. It also saves the investment, technology, infrastructure, flexibility in staffing and manpower management. And what are the disadvantages? Control required on outsourced activities. They should be controlled, proper control. Inexperienced workers lead to quality problems, loss of sensitive data, and loss of confidentiality as well. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. The last topic is GSA, gain sharing arrangements. It is nothing but cost saving sharing. It can be win-win situation for both supplier and customer. So, but risk is more. Like risk in nature as supplier can be rewarded with large return, and at the same time he can walk away with nothing.